Hey guys, what's going on everyone? I hope you're all doing fine, and today we're going to be talking about something which I wanted to talk about a month ago, but there was some craziness going on with all the leaks about Splinter Cell returning and Ubisoft actually turning all of those videos down. So I do feel like I'm risking it just a little bit, but I do want to make this video because I feel like it's important. And I won't show any picture neither, so hopefully this video doesn't get taken out. So for those who don't know, Splinter Cell is actually returning, but you guys might not like it, and saying you might not like it has to be the understatement of the century. So a new game called The Division Battle Cat has been leaked by a guy on Twitter called 0bytes, and I'm not going to be showcasing any pictures here as that will be pretty much me asking for this video to be taken out, which I really don't want to, but if you just look up 0bytes and Battle Cat on Google, you will easily find the pictures yourself, especially if you go to Reddit. But I will certainly say that these leaks are real, because if they weren't, I don't think Ubisoft will go all the way to all this trouble to take all of those images out. Right then, so what is The Division Battle Cat and where does Splinter Cell fit in? So supposedly this game is going to be a combination of Splinter Cell, Tom Clancy's The Division, and also Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Ubisoft is pretty much combining all of these three titles of the Tom Clancy's franchise into this one online PvP game. And obviously you might not be happy about this information because most likely, just like myself, you would rather see a standalone version of the Splinter Cell franchise. Which, to be honest, it's one of the few Ubisoft titles that hasn't gone downhill these last years, and I will honestly say that didn't happen because there simply hasn't been Splinter Cell games lately. So the leaker also stated that Ubisoft has also started the testing all the way back in January of this year. So they might just be closing in on the development of the game and soon announcing it to the public, which I kinda expected to see in Ubisoft Forward, but that didn't happen. When they do it, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. Now, what kind of game is this going to be? Well, according to the leaks, this seems to be a pure-on PvP multiplayer action adventure shooter. The leaker also stated that it's going to be a first-person shooter game that is going to be releasing on both PCs and on consoles, and I still can't wrap my mind around where the Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon and The Division found their way onto a first-person shooter experience. Now you could argue that Ghost Recon used to be a first-person shooter, and that is true, there used to be some FPS mechanics in the older Ghost Recon games, but that never happened to Division or Splinter Cell. And what kind of game will Splinter Cell be in a first-person shooter perspective? Well, definitely not the Splinter Cell I used to know. So I think that bringing in all of these great names like Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon and The Division is just a way to bring those communities together to actually play the game. I mean, we see it all the time, just look how Assassin's Creed is barely an Assassin's game anymore, yet they continue to use the name just to bring in all of those players. Now with Ubisoft turning all of their multiplayer games in free-to-play titles, I would say this is a great candidate for them to test their waters with their new way of making money. Free-to-play games bringing a lot of people, especially with big names like Splinter Cell on the cover. So I guess you don't really have to worry about paying money and then not liking the game, which I guess it's good. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you can simply uninstall it. Now apparently it seems like the game will have 4 different roles, one for each universe and different factions. And you will get to play as the Echelons from Splinter Cell and the Wolf from Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And you heard that right, the wolves, not the ghosts, and this has been confirmed from the leaked images, which again I cannot show you guys. And also the Cleaners and the Outcasts from Tom Clancy's The Division. Now each of these own factions will have their own specialties and abilities and different gameplay styles. The Echelons, which are based off Splinter Cell, are going to be the stealth class. They don't appear on the minimap and they use their own abilities to surprise and confuse your enemies. They can also reveal the enemy's location on the minimap, so it seems like this Echelon class is going to be the go-to recon type class. And guys, judging by these pictures, they look nothing like Splinter Cell. Apart from the 3-eye green knots, there is barely anything else that resembles Sam Fisher in any way possible, which is honestly quite heartbreaking. I also know we have a lot of Ghost Recon fans out here, so if you want to know a little bit more about the wolves, they actually look like wolves on this one, and according to the leaks they are going to be the more Buffy looking class. hard to kill because of the increased armor, flashbang resistance, and they can also deploy a shield and a deployable barrier that gives cover to their teammates. The cleaners and the outcasts also have their own special abilities, but you came here for Splinter Cell and that is what I'm going to give you. I will however make a full video once the game actually gets revealed. Mentioning game modes, there has been 2 leaked so far. One of them is called Payloads, and it's very similar to what you see in Overwatch or Team Fortress, where you kinda have to push a card from location to another, and the enemy team are basically going to try and defend that card. Apart from that, you also have another game mode called as a Ringleader, where you basically collect rings from the fallen enemies, which is pretty much kill confirmed from Call of Duty, where you pretty much collect the dog tags from fallen bad guys. So the player who collects the most amount of rings is going to be called a Ringleader, and once you become the Ringleader yourself, you have to survive 30 seconds before you deposit all of those rings for your team to win. And obviously this actually sounds fun to play, and I'm actually surprised to see what Ubisoft has in store for us, but I can't help but to shake out the feeling that they're just outright selling all of these great franchises names. And even though I understand that Splinter Cell is a great name in video games, what I cannot understand is why we can't have another standalone title. From a business perspective, it doesn't make any sense neither. People want a Splinter Cell game, and people will pay good money for a standalone Splinter Cell experience. Even if it was a simple 15 hours campaign, people will still buy it because again, everyone loves Splinter Cell. And we have been getting so many Splinter Cell crossovers. We got them in Wildlands, we got them in Breakpoint, and they were actually really good, so I don't understand why we can't have the real deal. Why is Splinter Cell only reserved to crossovers? I just don't understand. But even if this game actually turns out to be really good, which again we don't know, it might actually be a great game, but why can't we have a standalone experience? Especially when all the leaks point to be a first-person game, and that simply is not the Splinter Cell style. So they are pretty much designing a new game, which I respect, and putting in those big names on the cover, and being a first-person shooter, you won't even get to see the Splinter Cell outfit, which again is a shame. But guys, this is all we know so far about the return of Splinter Cell to the games. Not the best news, not the standalone title we wanted, but hey, who knows, maybe this inspires people to ask Ubisoft for a standalone title even more. That's the only thing we can do. But that's going to be it for today, guys. For those who don't know, I'm actually on vacation, and I did have a USB full of videos which I erased because I'm a complete noob, hence why I'm making this different type of content, like yesterday where we talked about 06 coming in, and today talking about the return of Splinter Cell. No excuses, daily uploads must continue, we gotta defeat the algorithm. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, a dislike if you didn't, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications so you don't miss any of my future content. Until the next time, have a good one, and I'll see you guys on the next video. CUSTERPLAYS signing out.